let me tell you what happened.
You are not going to believe this.
No ways, that actually happened.
Inspired by the kind of story you'd find on Reddit, Sam was standing in the middle of a busy hospital waiting room. Every single person was staring, and Sam had just realized she was wearing pajamas covered in cartoon ducks. How did it come to this? Well, that requires going back approximately 4 hours to the moment Alex had one of his ideas.
Okay, so here's the thing, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Alex, how does a person end up driving their best friend to a hospital appointment while said best friend is still in their pajamas? And the answer is, honestly, it seemed fine at the time.
It did not seem fine, it was not fine. Alex, I had duck pajamas on, little yellow ducks with hats. Why did you not tell me?
I genuinely thought, okay, wait, let me explain from the beginning. So Sam had this early morning appointment, right? Like super early. And Sam has a very specific morning routine.
I have a perfectly normal morning routine, thank you very much. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I get dressed, I have breakfast, that's a routine. That is just what humans do.
And it's true, Sam's morning routine was, by any reasonable standard, perfectly sensible. Wake up at 7, brush teeth, get dressed, have breakfast. The problem was that on this particular morning, the routine had been rather dramatically interrupted.
Okay, so I show up at Sam's place at like 6:45 to give her a ride, right? Because I'm a good friend. A great friend, actually. And I knock on the door and Sam opens it, and she's still in her pajamas, the duck ones, and she goes, give me 5 minutes.
I said 5 minutes. I was going to get dressed. That is a completely normal part of a morning routine. You get dressed before you leave the house. This is not controversial.
Right, but then I said, and this is where, okay, maybe I could have phrased this better. I said, Sam, you've already got your coat on over the pajamas, nobody's gonna see. We're gonna be late, let's just go.
He told me to put a coat over my pajamas. He said it would be fine. And I was half asleep, I hadn't even had breakfast yet, I hadn't done anything properly that morning. And I thought, yeah, all right, it's just a waiting room, I'll keep my coat on the whole time.
Now, any sensible person listening to this will already see the flaw in this plan. Hospitals, as it turns out, are quite warm. And Sam, who had skipped breakfast and therefore had absolutely no energy to make good decisions, had agreed to it entirely.
So we get to the hospital and it's going great. Sam's got her coat on, we're sitting in the waiting room, and I'm thinking this is fine. We are totally pulling this off.
I was sweating, Alex. I was absolutely roasting. Because I hadn't had my morning coffee, I hadn't had breakfast, my whole morning routine had been completely thrown off, and now I was just sitting there in a massive coat like a suspicious penguin.
You did look a little bit like a penguin, yes.
Thank you, Alex, very helpful.
The waiting room at St. Bridget's General Hospital was, as Alex had correctly identified, going fine, right up until the moment a small child sitting across from Sam pointed directly at her and said, with the confidence only a 4-year-old can muster, "Mummy, that lady's wearing her bedtime clothes." The mother looked mortified. Sam looked at Alex. Alex looked at the ceiling.
I wanted to disappear, just dissolve, into the floor. A child called me out. A tiny child who probably still has a bedtime routine that involves someone reading them a story.
Okay, but to be fair, the kid was very observant, like, genuinely impressive vocabulary for a 4-year-old.
Alex.
Sorry. Right. So then, okay, this is the part where things get slightly worse.
Slightly worse, he says, as if slightly is anywhere close to an accurate description of what happened next. You see, the hospital, as previously noted, was warm, and Sam, who had now been sitting in a thick winter coat for 40 minutes without so much as a cup of tea, a fundamental part of any self-respecting British morning routine, was reaching her limit.
I couldn't. I was so hot. I thought, right, the kid's already seen, it doesn't matter now, I'll just take the coat off and yeah. That's when the full duck pajamas came out.
And honestly, they were kind of amazing. Like, these were not subtle pajamas, these were festive, they were joyful. Each little duck had a tiny top hat. There were at least 40 ducks on that shirt alone.
They were a Christmas present from my ma'am. I didn't choose them.
The reaction in the waiting room was, shall we say, varied. Several people looked up from their phones. One elderly gentleman gave a slow, approving nod, as if Sam had made a bold fashion choice and he respected it. A nurse walking past did a small double take, and the child, the very same child from before, absolutely lit up.
The kid goes, and I'm not exaggerating, the kid goes ducks, just full volume, like Sam had personally made his entire week.
And I'll admit it, that was actually quite sweet. But I was still mortified, because everyone was looking, and I hadn't even had the chance to get ready properly that morning. No shower, no getting dressed, no breakfast, nothing. I was just a tired woman in duck pajamas being celebrated by a toddler in a hospital.
It was honestly one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
You are not helpful.
Now you might think the story ends there, with Sam glowing red in her duck pajamas while a 4-year-old cheered. But no, because the universe apparently had one more card to play. At that precise moment, Sam's name was called not by a regular nurse but by Dr. Anand Mehta, who happened to be the most elegant, immaculately dressed doctor in the entire hospital, and who also happened to be, as Sam had mentioned exactly 6 months ago, quite fit, actually.
No, I cannot, Alex. Alex, that's him. That is the doctor I mentioned. The one I said was, you know.
Oh, this is incredible.
This is not incredible. This is a disaster. I am in duck pajamas, Alex. I haven't brushed my hair. I skipped my whole morning routine. I look like I just rolled out of bed because I basically did roll out of bed.
Okay, positive spin. You look relaxed, approachable, like this is the real you know, no pretense.
The real me has a morning routine. The real me gets up, has a shower, gets dressed like a normal person, has a proper breakfast, drinks a coffee. The real me does not arrive at medical appointments dressed like a children's cartoon.
Dr. Mehta, to his enormous credit, did not react with anything other than professionalism. He called Sam's name again, smiled pleasantly, and waited. Sam stood up, smoothed down the duck pajamas with as much dignity as was physically possible, and walked across the waiting room. Alex, meanwhile, was biting his fist to keep from laughing.
I was trying so hard. I had tears, Sam. Actual tears, not from laughing, obviously, from something else.
You were laughing.
I was laughing so much.
So I walk up to Dr. Mehta, right, and he's very kind, very professional, and he goes completely straight-faced, he goes, lovely pajamas. And I wanted to evaporate.
He said lovely pajamas. That is, Sam, that's flirting. That's 100% flirting.
It was not flirting, he was being polite, although he did ask where I got them.
He asked where you got them.
I told him they were a gift from my ma'am, and he said, she has great taste. Alex, I cannot process this.
And so, dear listeners, what began as a catastrophic failure of the morning routine, no alarm, no shower, no getting dressed, no breakfast, no coffee, ended in what can only be described as an accidentally charming hospital encounter. Sam did eventually get her appointment done. She did eventually get home, get into actual clothes, have a late breakfast, and drink approximately 3 cups of tea. And Alex did eventually stop laughing, roughly 4 hours later.
In my defense, and I want to be clear, I maintain that putting the coat over the pajamas was a reasonable call at the time. But also, you have to admit, if you had followed your normal morning routine and gotten fully dressed like a regular person, none of this magic would have happened.
It was not magic, Alex. It was a public humiliation.
A magical public humiliation.
I will never, ever, under any circumstances, skip my morning routine again. I don't care if I'm late. I don't care if you're waiting outside honking the horn. I am getting dressed. I am having breakfast. I am drinking my coffee. And I am brushing my hair every single morning without exception.
What about the pajamas, though? Are you gonna wear them again?
They're very comfortable.
The ducks have changed you, Sam.
The ducks had perhaps changed her, and somewhere in St. Bridget's General Hospital, Dr. Mehta was presumably going about the rest of his day, professional, elegant, and now the owner of the knowledge that there is a woman out there whose morning routine occasionally involves waddling into a waiting room in top-hat duck pajamas. Whether he considered that a selling point is, of course, a story for another day.
Oh God, don't make it another episode, please.
No promises.
No
Did
promises
this make you
at
laugh?
all.
Drop us a like.
Hit follow and never miss a story.
Subscribe to English Through Stories. Find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. See you on the next episode.